Hi Janesville, welcome to Park Place Views, brought to you by the City of Janesville and JATV Media Services. I'm Jamie Balsiger, the Management Information Intern in the City Manager's Office. This monthly program aims to keep Janesville residents informed by highlighting the people, places, events, and partners in the City of Janesville. On last month's episode, we talked with City Manager Mark Freitag and Finance Director Max Gagan about the 2018 budget. If you are interested in viewing past episodes of Park Place Views, they are available to watch on the city's website or JATV's YouTube channel. Today, Dave Marshick is joining us to talk about the new Downtown Janesville Business Improvement District. Dave has a degree in economics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He is currently a commercial banking manager at First National Bank and Trust. Previously, Dave worked at BMO Harris Bank for over 20 years. That is where he gained his passion for being involved with downtown activities from working at the downtown BMO location. Along with the Business Improvement District, he is a part of the Janesville Morning Rotary Club, a Rise Now committee, and more. Thank you for being here today, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
Before we talk about the Business Improvement District, or BID, can you help us understand exactly what a BID is?
Sure. It's a pretty simple concept, really. It's a defined geographic area where all the businesses within that area contribute through the tax bills to raise money to better improve their district.
So the properties in downtown Janesville are taxed a little more to support activities specifically downtown. Is that how the BID gets all of its money?
Right now it is. That's the sole source of funding. The goal is, hopefully, one of the things we're trying to accomplish with the BID is to create a couple of big signature events. And hopefully at some point those will actually be income producing so that they would add additional funds to the BID.
How did the idea of a BID in downtown Janesville develop? Did this effort have enough widespread support?
Yeah, I think so. This was, I think, the third effort for a BID in Janesville. The most recent one was in 2008 or 2009, I think. And I was a part of that effort too. And in that time, it was a small group of people that came up with an idea and figured it all out in the back room and then went out and said to the businesses, hey, here's what we're going to do. That approach didn't go over real well. So we decided this time to take a very different approach. It started actually in 2015. It hasn't been a fast process. We started talking about the BID. And what we decided was we needed to take the time and really engage the downtown businesses in the creation of the BID rather than coming up with something and trying to sell it to them. So through 2016, we did a lot of educational and informational efforts. We had a couple of public meetings. We had Chuck Law, who's kind of the state expert on bids, come down and give a bid 101 type of class. And after that, we got some feedback from people that said, boy, wouldn't it be great to hear from some other bids? So we said, sure. And we got on the phone and we called up some peer communities and said, hey, would you mind sending your bid manager down and answering some questions? Our second public meeting, we had a panel of bid managers that were there to answer questions and talk a little bit about their communities. After that, we did a citywide survey and basically said, what do you want to see in the downtown? You know, what are your concerns about downtown? What do you like about downtown? What would you like to see in downtown? So from all that informational that we gathered, we then created a focus group. And we were very particular about who we chose for this focus group. And what we did is we went out and we contacted some of the people last time that were very against the BID, people that were for the BID. And we also tried to get people from all the different industries, so service, retail, hospitality, all the different industries. And we got them in a room and we said, okay, what would be a BID that you could get behind? Because we felt it was important for them to help create the idea, not for us to create it and try and sell it to them. And I think that worked very well. And so, yeah, I think we did have some pretty good support this time.
Can you explain what the three different zones in the BID mean?
Sure, and that's a perfect example of what came out of involving everybody in the BID. There was one person that was kind of on the outer skirts of the BID district that said, hey, you know, the BID isn't a bad idea, I like it, but someone on the corner of Main and Milwaukee is going to get a lot more benefit from me, who's out here at the end, you know, on the edges of the BID district, you know, so why should I pay as much as they did? So that's how this developed, and it's kind of a unique approach. There's only one other bid in the state of Wisconsin that has that zone approach, and that's Wisconsin Dells, which is just a totally different beast. So, so that was an idea that really came together from involving the businesses.
Then how many people are on the Janesville's downtown bid board, and what does the board do?
We have 9 people on the bid board. 8 of those people are downtown business or property owners. We tried to also get a good cross-section of the different zones, so all the zones were represented. And then there's 1 public community member at large. The bid board's role is really of the big picture. So the bid board develops a plan every year, develops a budget, kind of here's what we want to get done, and then they hand it off to DJI. And DJI are kind of the worker bees that carry out the wishes of the bid. So the bid board is really more of a big picture overview of the concept, but DJI is the one that's really going to get the work done.
Do you have examples of other downtown bids that have been successful and what made them work?
Sure. You know, it's interesting, I found as I was going through this whole process, there's I think about 80-some bids in Wisconsin. It's in 45 communities. Some like Milwaukee has, I don't know, 15, 20 bids. But the number of bids that have dissolved over the years is next to nothing. So to answer that question, I think all the bids are successful. Going back to that panel that we had come down, you know, one thing that all of them mentioned was making sure that the person you hire to manage the bid is a boots on the ground, knocking on businesses' doors, and being very personable and going out and talking to businesses. That is the key.
How does the Downtown Janesville Bid Board intend to use funds in 2018?
So like I said, when we developed the operating plan, we came up with some kind of broad categories for the bid. You know, beautification, business recruitment, retention, and marketing, snow removal, which was a big deal for a number of people. And then also we're looking to do some special projects. And then what we did is we directed DJI and we said, you guys fill in the blanks here. Here's kind of what the big things that we want to accomplish. You tell us how we're going to do that. So right now, as a matter of fact, the bid is in the process of reviewing those budgets that the bid or that DJI presented to the bid. And we've got some really neat ideas out of there. From a marketing standpoint, we're looking at doing some co-op marketing. One of the ideas is to do a billboard campaign that will not only advertise a downtown business, but also promote downtown Janesville in general. And so the idea is we would have a billboard that would be, you know, you'd have 1/4 of it maybe would be, you know, the DJI Destination Downtown Janesville branding, and then the rest would be for the business. And what we're doing is we're going to offer a cost match. So if that billboard costs $500, the bid will contribute $250, and the business would contribute $250. So basically a business can get a billboard for half the cost. The other big committee that we're looking for some big things from is our design committee. The design committee is the committee that handles kind of the flower plantings, the decorations at the Roth Pavilion. You know, this year we had the little pine trees and all the planters during the holiday season. And so we've been able to do what we can with DJI with a very limited budget. What the bid is going to allow is for us to really expand on that. A couple of examples. Right now, with the funding that we have, we go from summer decorations and flowers straight to winter. We really didn't have money to do anything in the fall. This year we think we can. So we'll be doing maybe some mums and some pumpkins throughout downtown so we can fill in that gap. The other thing I mentioned, the little pine trees we put in all the planters this year. We heard a lot of comments, those are nice, when are you going to decorate them? Well, we didn't have any money to decorate them, so now we do. So we're going to buy some ornaments and really dress those up a little bit. So those are some of the things that we're going to help with the design committee. The events committee, we talked about developing a couple of big signature events. That's going to take a couple of years. You know, those don't happen overnight. So this year we're going to try and just expand on some of the things we have. There's the concerts at the Marv Roth Pavilion on Tuesday evenings. We're looking to expand that because that doesn't happen every Tuesday. So we've got some funds now that we can pay to fill those gaps. We're also looking at possibly getting a trolley renting a trolley for some of our events that cover the whole downtown so people don't have to walk. The Wine Walk is a good example. The Jolly Jingle, you know, where there's events all throughout downtown, we're looking at maybe renting a trolley for those events to be able to help shuttle people around. So that's kind of a neat idea. And then the special projects, we've got a $10,000 line item in our bid budget for a special project. And right now we're reviewing some ideas for that, but that we're hoping it to be something that can really make a big impact. We haven't really narrowed that down yet.
That's a lot of good new ideas and
it really
projects
is,
that
and
will
it's,
take place.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, I've been involved in downtown for, I don't know, 12, 13 years now, and it's really an exciting time.
The bid board just got a new executive director, Emily Arthur. What are her new responsibilities that she is in charge of?
Sure. We're excited to have Emily. She's going to be wonderful. She's already involved in downtown. She's a member of DJI. She's the manager of the farmers market. So she's already kind of involved in downtown. As we developed the job description for this position, what we did is we started with some desired outcomes. Rather than job descriptions, we said, okay, well, what do we want this person to achieve? And some of those were to increase awareness and attendance at events, increase the number of downtown businesses that are supporters of DJI in the bid. So people that are out there talking about us in a positive light and being ambassadors and participating. And then also really to work on retaining and recruiting businesses. So those are some of the key drivers that we want them to achieve. Again, as we talked about earlier, the biggest thing is for Emily to go out and walk up and down the streets and talk to businesses, act as a liaison between businesses in the city, businesses in the bid, businesses in DJI, and kind of be their voice.
As you mentioned before, you're planning for new advertising in 2018. What are some goals you intend to reach with more awareness of the bid?
So we've got two different roles with the advertising, I guess, and one is to help the businesses advertise themselves. We talked a little bit about that with the co-op advertising. The other thing we want to do is create a marketing campaign and some advertising for downtown Janesville in general. And so one of the things we're going to do is we're going to develop kind of a high-end marketing piece about Janesville. We think there's a lot of neat stuff to talk about right now with things that have happened, are happening, and are going to happen. And this piece we see as something that we can distribute to out-of-town developers, commercial real estate agents, take it to seminars and such for other downtown communities with the idea of letting people know that, hey, downtown Janesville is a cool place to be. Think about us when you're thinking about a place for your business.
You mentioned some downtown events already, but are there any others that you could mention or when these events might happen?
So we do have our full slate of events for 2018 already out there. Those are the On Top of Downtowns, which have been great, hugely successful events for us. We've got 2 wine walks coming up. The Masquerade Ball is right around the corner. Go to our website, downtownjanesville.com. And then, like I mentioned, we are looking to do a couple of bigger events, but that's going to be at least a year or 2 out.
Then 2018 is the first year the bid is in operation. At this point, have you received much feedback from downtown property owners, businesses, or visitors?
You know, at this point, I don't think so. We're such in the infancy stage right now. We're just getting rolling. We're just getting our funding from the tax rolls. So we're really just getting rolling. So I think there's a lot of wait and see. We know we need to make an impact this year, and that's our goal. And so I think the important feedback will be at the end of the year when people look back and say, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm glad this happened.
Then we're just about out of time. Do you have any other closing thoughts for our viewers at home?
You know, if you haven't been downtown Janesville in a while, you should come downtown Janesville. There's a lot of new shops and restaurants. The town square, might want to wait till it warms up a little bit for that. By the end of this summer, we're going to have the Festival Street completed. The interactive water feature will be ready this summer. If you haven't been down here a while, come down and you're going to notice a big difference. It's really exciting.
If a viewer is interested in learning more about the bid, how can they do so?
Right now, we have an email set up, which is bid@downtownjanesville.com, or our website, downtownjanesville.com. Those are 2 great resources. At some point, we'll have a phone number. Like I said, we're just getting this thing rolling, and we just hired Emily yesterday, so.
Right, that's all good.
Yep.
Thank you, Dave, for joining us today and allowing our viewers to get information about the Business Improvement District in downtown Janesville. And thank you, viewers at home, for tuning in. On next month's episode of Park Place Views, we will be talking with the Sustainable Janesville Committee. In addition to tuning into this program on a monthly basis, stay connected to the City of Janesville by following us on Facebook or Twitter. You can also sign up to receive emails with our press releases and other important information. And you can subscribe to get emergency alerts from the Janesville Police Department on Nixle. For Park Place Views and the City of Janesville, I'm Jamie Balsiger. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next month.